Today I'm going to talk about why you should focus on your long-term results rather than worrying about short-term individual trades. It's going to massively help you to become a successful trader in the long run. Let's talk about that and more right now. Hey there traders, it's Andrew Mitchem here at the Forex Trading Coach with video and podcast number 604. Today I want to talk about why I believe you should focus on your long-term results. You see, trading is like any other investment. You've got to look at it as a bigger picture. And I find that far too many people get really caught up on, say, like the last trade or the last few trades or even the last week's trades. And it creates a danger. Because, you know, in trading, you could have a few lucky trades. You know, you could put some on that are maybe not particularly exactly as your strategy suggests, but you get lucky and they end up winning. And you might have things like seasonal time adjustments, time of the year, when, you know, markets are a little bit flat or really, really good. And you've got to allow for all these things because to me, there's two things you have to control in your trading. One's your heart and the other's your head. Those emotions are vital that you can control them properly. And the danger is if you're focusing on your last few trades, you can get massive buzzes and massive highs if you've done really well and had a few successful trades. Likewise, if you had a couple of losses in a row and things just don't seem to be working out, you can get some real sort of lows and you're thinking, oh, is this just all doom and gloom and not working? And that is where I see the issue. You see, any good trader with good trading skills and a good sound strategy and knowledge will be successful in the long run. And that's where your focus needs to be. Because, you know, no investment is a straight line. Not every day are you going to make money as a trader, not every week, sometimes not every month. And that's part of the overall, part of trading that you have to understand. And that's where the danger of focusing real short term can create so many issues. And that's why I find that and look, I used to do this myself years and years ago. I don't now, luckily, because I worked out what works for me. But years ago, I used to chop and change systems. I used to add this indicator. I used to over-optimize this, buy this bit of software, automate this, strategy, buy the next ebook, whatever it was. Or you're going on, forum sites and finding the latest, greatest idea. And of course, none of them work. And so that becomes the chasing the shiny object problem that so many people have. And that's because they're focusing on, well, one, they probably don't have a good strategy and really know what they're doing themselves. But also they're focusing like what's happening right now. Is this a couple of losing trades in a row? Oh, get rid of that system. It's terrible. It doesn't work. On to the next thing. And I suppose that's where we're fortunate because ever since I started coaching over 16 years ago, the strategy remains exactly the same. It's because it's based on good, sound, technical analysis. And, it works on all markets, all currency pairs, all time frame charts, and now other markets like the cryptos and indices, commodities, etc. on top. And so that is why we focus on that long-term consistency, because you wouldn't go and buy an investment property and then you pay whatever you pay for it, let's say $500,000, and you're going, oh my goodness, I've just had it valued, and like the week after it's like 490 and 470, then 520. You can't be an investor if that's your kind of longer term goal, and be worried about the price of that property every week or every month. If your longer term, aim is to hold it and then gain from it. And trading's kind of the same. You've got to remove the emotions as best you can from your trading and look at your consistency over time. When you iron out things like seasonal changes and political events and different things like that that happen that can make some currencies go completely flat and other currencies go wild. And you've got to like take the rough and the smooth and iron out your trading and be consistent over a longer time period. And that's the focus, I think, here that most people unfortunately don't get. And I suppose in all fairness, that comes from time and knowledge and experience and confidence in your strategy and seeing it work consistently as well. And, you know, we're fortunate that we have that in our trading. And, you know, I think another thing that I talk about all the time that's going to massively help you when it comes to emotions is making sure that every trade that you take has the same risk percentage of your account. It doesn't matter what the time frame, what the direction, how big the stop loss is, how big the profit target is, how long it's in the market for. If you have low and controlled and known risk on every single trade that you take, but also at the same time your profits are 2, 3, 4 times your risk, which between that 2 and 4 is where like 90% of my trades would fall into personally, and the way that we trade and teach with profit targets, etc. And if you have that, then that is part of the key to success, having low controlled risk, which controls emotions. So you're not worried if you have a few losing trades. You know that overall your strategy is sound. Your profitable trades are several times your risk. So if you do have, let's say, an average of a 3-to-1 reward to risk ratio, if you've lost 2 trades and then 1 out of 3-to-1 on the other trade, then you're back up to where you started. But you've got a 66% losing rate just on those 3 trades. So reward to risk is massively important. Low controlled risk is also important. If you'd like to find out more about how we do this and how we can help you, I'll put a link here to my short 17-minute on-demand masterclass where you can find out more about how we trade and teach and can help you. If you'd like to book a call to talk to myself or one of the team, I'll put a link here as well for that. And if you're out there looking for a very good high quality broker, I can highly recommend Blueberry Markets. They offer the MT4 and especially the MT5 platform, which has so many more markets on it, Forex and non-Forex. And I can highly recommend you consider having a look at Blueberry Markets if you're out there looking for a good broker and a good trusted broker to put your funds with. And anything else that you need, please send me an email, andrew@theforextradingcoach.com, and I'll be glad to make a weekly video and podcast like this on any topic that you need help with. So once again, this is Andrew here at the Forex Trading Coach. I see you this time next week. Happy trading. Bye for now.